such an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for your availability. How are you doing today, my friend?
Well, as I said, I'm okay. I mean, I'm a bit stressed because well, the delivery of the final master is drawing near, and there's still a lot of work to do. So, and also besides that, a lot of other things are happening. So, yeah, it's a bit stressful at the time, but I'm okay.
Yeah, and you have reasons to be happy now because your new album, Awesome Anthems of the Galaxy, it's getting released in the end of this month. It transforms classic 80s pop songs into power metal. What made you decide that now was the right time to release this album?
Well, I mean, actually, it wasn't a decision. Oh, wow, hey, this is the right now. It's the right time. It was just about due. We started doing this back, I think, back in 2002 on the Condition Red album. That
Yeah.
was the initial track. Back in 2002, we covered the hit by Seal, Crazy, and transformed that into metal. And that was, so to speak, the first song that ever has been transformed by Iron Savior into a metal song. And obviously, fans liked that quite a bit. And I was getting requests for decades, so to speak, to come up with an entire album. But I never found the time and never actually thought that it's worth spending so much time on a covers only album. But well, I mean, for the 30th anniversary year, I said, okay, let's start off with this cover album. I'll do it so that everybody who's been asking for this for such a long time now can be pleased with this album. And yeah, and well, starting to work on it, I liked doing it more and more, I have to say. And now here talking about this album, I'm really fond of this one, and I think it's a great album. I just love it. I've been listening to it weeks and even months after I finished it, which is rather unusual for me because usually I listen to an album where I've been working on for such a long time, like 4 or 6 weeks or so, and then it slowly fades away, and I listen to other stuff. But this one has been extremely long in my car player.
Yeah, and it's a great album. I think it really captures the best of that 80s pop tracks, and it really transforms them into Iron Savior songs. And that's the ultimate goal, right? I think when you make a cover, is to take other song and make them your own. And one thing I find really interesting is that the title, "Awesome Anthems of the Galaxy," it has that Iron Savior cosmic flair. How do these nostalgic pop songs fit into the band's futuristic sci-fi, universe?
Not at all, not at all, because and that exactly was the idea. Because me and my family were huge Guardians of the Galaxy fans, and so I had this vision that this is something like a mixtape, and so I
Yeah.
came up with this idea to have this mixtape floating in space, and call this album in regards to Guardians of the Galaxy, anthems of the galaxy, and yeah, I think that this concept really works. I like the cover and I like the vibe that this album has, and I think it's a nice product. I really love this album. I'm happy that I finally did it.
Yeah. I'm happy you did it too. Was the concept always specifically to 80s pop, or did you consider including songs from other
No,
decades, other genres?
no, not really. But when I sat down and wrote a list, I'm 61.
Mhm.
So I grew up in the 80s. And so
Yeah.
most of the songs I put down basically were 80 songs. So because that's
Mhm.
the stuff that stayed most on my mind, so to speak. Um, so no, that was not that was not the criteria to only pick 80 songs, but yeah, but it somehow ended up like this. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe if I do a second one, I mean, there are other decades that also had
Mhm.
good
Yeah.
songs, I suppose. So it's the book for the 90s or the 2000s can be opened then. But right now, for I felt very comfortable with doing all these
Mhm.
80 tracks like Mike and the Mechanics. All I Need Is a Miracle. Awesome song. When I listened the first time, I really got goosebumps, and or whatever. I mean, Relax. It's one of my all-time favorite non-metal songs. So there's a lot of really awesome stuff on it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And and you were saying you are 61 and you were writing this set list. I'm 22. I know all of these tracks. I think that
Yeah, I
also
mean, my
tells a lot
daughter's
about the
about
quality of the songs.
yeah, that's so funny because my daughter is about the same
Yeah.
age than you, and she knew
Hmm.
almost everything. I think she
Yeah.
only a couple of songs that she didn't know,
Hmm.
but she knew two-thirds easily. Uh,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
that
It's great.
that is saying something, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and especially when the songs have also inspired you for so long as well. You were into the beginning of power metal. And, this was also a big part of the beginning of power metal, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not that the word. I mean, metal, of course, is a major part in my life, but
Yeah.
there's also a life next to metal, you know. And when it comes to music, I do listen to metal quite a bit, but I also
Mhm.
listen to other kind of music. You know, for example, um, uh, I mean, if you drive in the car and you don't put in a CD or your player and you
Mhm.
just listen to mainstream. I mean, you have to listen to this all the time. And back in the 80s,
Yeah.
there was no chance to listen to any other music, you know.
Mhm.
If you wanted to watch videos on TV or so, it's that was the only chance. I mean, there were a couple of I think once a week there was a show called Formula One, and they had all these video clips, you know,
Mhm.
and they were lasted, and it was the only way for a guy like me in the 80s to consume any kind of music. So you couldn't be very picky, you know, if you would only wanted to watch metal stuff, then there would be nothing
Yeah,
in the
exactly. And
80s.
yeah, and life is too even now life is too short to listen just to metal. I mean, metal of course is
Yeah,
my favorite genre, but there's a whole other world out there that also deserves
absolutely,
respect. Yeah.
absolutely.
And were any tracks that you tried to make work for this album, but you ultimately came to the conclusion that okay, no, this doesn't fit.
No, not really. I mean, in
Hmm.
total, I recorded 20 songs and 17 made it on the album. It's not that the other three are not good. For example, I
Hmm.
did Spandau Ballet Gold, which actually I like, but it's not such a well-known song, you know. But
Yeah.
and we keep that for other stuff. I mean, we it's not that it won't be released, but it won't be released within this album, you know.
Hmm.
Um, no, I mean, of course, when it came to pick the songs, I always had to consider that it must be possible to do this conversion. I mean, there are lots of songs which I really like, but it really would be hard to transform them. A lot of stuff from let's for example the Pretenders or Casey and the Sunshine
Hmm.
Band, Walking on Sunshine. It's a
Yeah.
great song, but it's in a way too happy, you know, to be metalized. It won't work.
Yeah.
And so I, I of course I focused on songs that where I knew that the composition and the chords and stuff would be metal friendly, you know.
Yeah, and which of these songs surprised you the most when you you finished it?
Oh, that's really hard to say because honestly, I really like them all. But
Yeah.
I can only maybe a fun fact on the side. The Journey song. I didn't know.
Hmm.
That's maybe a fun fact because back in the 80s when I was listening to metal, I was listening to Judas Priest, Saxon Maiden. You know, when I was your age, I was listening to that kind of stuff. And Journey was just too weak for me. I mean, it was like pop rock. It had some guitars, but for young Pete, this was out of the question to listen to Journey. So Journey, I knew that they exist, but I didn't listen to them, and they were not that big over here, so they weren't in this video show I just told you about. So when it came to pick some songs for this, I really stumbled across this. I said, "Oh, yeah, you got to do something with Journey, of course." Um, because at least they are a guitar-based rock band and they're really successful and huge. And so I came across this song which I didn't know and loved it. And I think the outcome is really great. I'm really fond of this version. Um, one song that I also have to name is Mike and the Mechanics. All I Need Is a Miracle. I think this version I did is
Hmm.
really good. I think if the guys from Mike and the Mechanics listen to this version, they say, "Yes, Pete, good job. It's okay. You did it. You did a good one on this." and also Relax. I think Relax is one of my favorite
Mhm.
tracks on this album. But it's just because I really love this song because what makes Relax so special is that it's the composition is really super easy. I mean, it's basically
Yeah.
just one
Mhm.
tone that everything is built on. But the way it is arranged and also the lyrics are very little. There's just
Yeah.
these four lines and that's it. And but on the other hand, the original song had so much atmosphere and was so catchy,
Mhm.
and that was really a challenge to transform this into metal. And I think it worked out really nicely. I'm really fond of Relax.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the highlights of the album. How was the process of transforming these songs into power metal? How was the composition behind it?
Well, I mean, what for me, 2 points have been very important for me. The one thing is that you cannot, well, I mean, you that you cannot fool around with the track too
Mhm.
much. So it's not that you want to rape a track,
Mhm.
and squeeze it into something which it's absolutely not. So for me, it was very important to always, well, conserve the original vibe of the track,
Mhm.
and bring that into the power metal world. And so what I basically did is when I picked the track, I looked at it, and in my mind I said, okay, this song it's this song you just wrote, it's an Iron Savior song, and now you're going to produce it exactly the way like you would produce an Iron Savior song.
Mhm.
And that concept kind of worked. So I respected and conserved the original vibe and produced it in a way I would produce any Iron Savior stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really what made it sound so Iron Savish, I think. And can we expect any of these tracks to make it to your live set list?
Well, I mean, of course, not all tracks, and of course, I mean, well, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, somebody calls me and says, "Hey, Peter, give you 100,000 euros, and you go on tour with and play all those songs," then of course I will do it. But it's not that we are planning a
Hmm.
tour, a big tour for this one. But yeah, I mean, there are one or two songs that might make it to the live set because um, yeah, because I really love this album, and it's part of the Iron Savior universe now, and
Yeah, yeah,
so
for sure.
it would be concludent, or the what no, the concludent is the German word. It would be fitting to have one of those songs in the live set.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And one thing I found really curious is the timing of release of this album, because most of these tracks were released, or all of them were released in the 80s, in the golden age of MTV, and now MTV is gone, and Iron
Yeah.
Savior released this. I think it's kind of funny that the timing that you think.
Well, I mean that of course wasn't intended. I mean I didn't know
Yeah, I
that
mean, of course, yeah,
that
yeah.
was that's just a coincidence. But yeah, yeah. I mean, of course. I
Mhm.
mean those songs are kind of like the DNA of music
Yeah.
television. Yeah, that's right. I mean that is where everything
Mhm.
is coming from. I mean the '80s were when music video started. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and any of these besides
video
that
killed the
journey.
radio star.
Yeah, exactly. And besides that journey track that you mentioned, is there any other track in here that have any special connection to, bring back any memories from when you were younger?
Well, all of them actually do. So
Yeah.
that I
Hmm.
can't name a specific track
Hmm.
on that. But I can pick a track which I think also is would deserves to be mentioned here. It's the Phil Collins cover of "Against All Odds," because that was
Hmm.
pretty much the first song I started out with, and the basic idea behind that was to change that from a ballad eight uh, into a slow, well, rock song, so to speak,
Hmm.
and make the drums in double time. And that worked really nice. And I think I played an awesome solo on this one. And And even though the drum arrangement is really different from the original, it still has the vibe of the original, and
Hmm.
that is exactly what we have been talking about in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy. I mean, I wasn't sure about this, if this would be possible for me to create, you know, but yeah, I found a good way to do it.
Yeah, 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 you for sure did. And moving a little bit out from this Discover album, Iron Savior self-titled debut celebrates its 30th anniversary next year. Are you planning anything
No, no,
special for the occasion this
this
year?
year actually, yeah, this
Oh
year,
yeah, my bad, sorry.
2000, no problem.
2026. Yeah,
1996 was the
yeah.
debut, was the release of the debut album,
Hmm.
and yeah, of course. I mean, this I'm at the moment I'm working quite hard on
Hmm.
the new studio album, which of course will be
Yeah.
released this year for the
Hmm.
30th anniversary, and yeah, I mean, it's better be good, you know. So
Yeah, I'm sure
and
it will be.
time is yeah,
Hmm.
it's gonna be good. I have good stuff here, but at the moment there's a promotion for this one, and there's like three or four things at the time that
Hmm.
I have to take care for. So right now, I cannot spend as much time on the new album as I really want
Hmm.
to, and I really would have to. So I'm getting a little bit nervous right now, but
Hmm.
though it'll all be good, and some pressure all can be a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I'm sure it will sound great. Can you reveal anything to us about that new album?
Oh well, I mean, it's gonna be it will be of course a classic Iron Savior album,
Yeah, I bet it will. Yeah.
and what more can I say? I mean,
Hmm.
it will be Iron Savior will be printed on it, and Iron Savior will be inside. So,
Hmm.
and of course, I try to make it even more Iron Savior like for the 30th
Yeah.
anniversary than ever before. I mean, with Skycrest and Firestar, it's really not easy to keep
Hmm.
up with this level, you know, because
Yeah,
that were
exactly. Yeah.
really
Hmm.
really amazing albums.
And even Kill or Get Killed. It's amazing.
Also, Kill or Get Killed, it's a great album, but this one is also good.
Yeah, I bet it will be. I can't wait to listen to it. Well, Pete, I think that's it. Thank you so much. Would you like to send any message to your Portuguese fans?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, I always use the opportunity at the end of interviews if people ask. I wouldn't be sitting here and talking with you and doing Iron Savior without the people out there who have been supporting this band for over 30 years. And therefore, of course, I'm absolutely thankful. And yeah, hope to see you somewhere, live on the road or whatever. And
Mhm.
thank you so much for let me doing this.